thank you everyone to be here. Really, this space is for you guys, for the community. We try to bring this workshop every time that we can. And people that know me, my name is Daniel. I'm the lead of the San Antonio community. I try to support every aspect of the AWS. I am a AWS community builder on cybersecurity. I have like, a lot of experience working on the security side. If you have any question in that aspect, let me know. Okay. Remember that we have our Slack channel. We post some support for the community. We have some of the channel for some position on here in San Antonio outside. Um, Feel free to pick me if you have any question. Okay. Okay. This workshop today we are going to the people who go to live. Hello. We have people around the world. Really, we have people South America and Spain and other part of the world. Um, this is going to be going from zero to Kiro hero. Why is going to be zero to Kiro? Well, like go to hero in on the aspect of Kiro. We're trying to build a Kiro environment that you can use and break everything inside there. Yeah, we have very good speakers, very expert speakers today. They're going to support you guys and going to walk through every aspect about Kiro. Yeah, we have some environments ready for you guys, and you can use it. And in the case that you can grab that on your machine. Okay. Okay, this is going to be the link that you guys going to use it for access the workshop. It's going to be on-site workshop, but in any case, you can use it directly on your personal AWS account and using your Kiro. In the case that you wanting to use it, start this Kiro in any part really. Please copy that one. I'm going to send to you in a Slack. Oh, take a photo. How it's going to work? I take your email for everyone here. I don't grab your email, please let me know. I can add you to the list of the workshop. We're going to put your email there, and you're going to receive a message for accessibility of the workshop. You're going to receive something very similar like this, and you're going to be verified, and now you're going to be have access to one of the remote workshop. The remote workshop is going to have Kiro installed, and is going to be a virtual machine to run directly on a VPC, and that way you can access to the console in AWS. We work to grab this, and we're going to say thank you for Franklin. Franklin is part of the Austin community, helped really a lot of the San Antonio, very involved in the all this, bring to you guys some of the last things about AI and Kiro and LLMs here at Expert. Thank you, Franklin, for that. And okay, well, one of our sponsor for the community is Modus Created. Modus Created helped to the community to grow. They send us some swaggers and some giveaway. And thank you for Modus Created to be part of the San Antonio community and support us to bring new opportunities for the community. Okay. I don't have more slide really. I'm going to thank you for Tatiana to bring that earrings for the girls. We wanted to bring more girls for the community. Really, is one of our top priority right now is involve more girls and women in the community because we need to bring in this aspect to grow the community. You know, we try to bring more opportunities to everybody in the community. And that is all. Guys, if you wanted to come here, please. Okay, you want to introduce yourself, Earl? He's an expert, guys. He's an
Oh,
expert. Yeah, you
an,
you are an expert. You have
an expert. That's an interesting term. I was taking an Uber over here, And somebody asked me, what does it mean to be, oh, well, I've got this mic on. I think I'm good. Somebody asked me what it means to be an expert in AI. And I was like, did you wake up this morning and see something brand new? Great, you're not an expert anymore. Being an expert in AI is a fallacy. It excuse me. It's something that changes all the time. So a little bit about myself. My name is Daryl Wallach. I work for a company called Swivel. Been in the software industry for about 19 years now. Seen a lot of things come and go. I've never seen anything come like AI has. Cloud was one thing. AI is a whole other beast. I am a self-proclaimed Kiro fanatic at this point. About 7 months ago from my job, somebody asked me, hey, can you go prototype using this tool? And I was like, hooray, another tool that does all of the same things. This is really what I need. And then I ended up prototyping a system that I needed to build in one afternoon and taking it back to my CTO and going, please spend this money now. I'm still waiting for him to spend all of that money. I want the Pro Max subscription. So first, let me ask you all a question. How many people here are using some kind of AI in their job today? Okay. Anybody using Claude? A lot of people. Copilot. Got a few. Yeah, it's really expensive, but let's go good. Anybody using Kiro? All right. Got one. We got two brave people here. So probably the most important thing that I kind of want to start with the fact is all AI tools are built on the same fundamentals. And kind of where the idea of this talk came from, and I did spit out the words from zero to Kiro hero, of which Daniel and everyone else immediately latched onto that name. It's really all about learning the fundamentals. There's no tricks. Some people might say, go download the superpower skill, you're done. Or if you go use this skill pack, you've learned it all. No, you haven't. You did what somebody else did. And maybe that works for them, but may not work for you. So rather than saying you need to go learn every AI technology, what I encourage everybody that I work with to do is to learn how these technologies work. So that's why I say from zero, because I'm going to try to hit the touch bases of the really critical things that I've found help me create quality code. Let's see. Zach, what do I do to make this go away? Escape? Okay. That did not do the thing I wanted it to do. So the workshop to follow along with is kiro-hero.dev. This is my first workshop. Go gentle on me. I do tech talks. I love tech talks. If you haven't noticed, talking is my thing. But the things that I want to talk to you most about are, you know, these more important things like steering files and agent skills and agent hooks and custom agents, because they really define what you get. I still have a lot of people I work with who talk about AI slop. I can sort of agree with them sometimes, but my rebuttal to them is garbage in, garbage out. If you give an agent, which is a essentially highly enthusiastic intern with slightly out-of-date knowledge, the wheels to your Mercedes and expect nothing to go wrong, you are sorely mistaken. So I I am kind to my nice little AI intern. I like to teach it how to do things. I like to give it nice structured flows in which it can do work. Um, so prerequisites. For everybody here, you already have logins to get into the AWS environments. I know everybody got the link. Do I need to go through the steps of that for everybody also, or Daniel? Yes? No? That's the URL for the workshop itself. But to get to the instances, let's see. Everybody should have got an email, right, Daniel? Okay. Uh-oh. I do not know if I got one either. And yes, showing your Gmail, no risk or anything there. um, Daniel, did it possibly go to my work email or did it go to Gmail? The one what? Oh, shoot. That's my work email. Okay. I have my phone. I have enough devices that have all the things on it, so maybe I can do this. Okay. And I am hunting pecking. Don't judge me. Okay. So hopefully I will get an email. And as Daniel said, Franklin did an amazing job of setting up these environments for us, which have pretty much everything that we need installed to be able to go through the workshop when I get my email. It did. Here, let's go see. The wonderful world of live. I wonder if it's partially because I've been registered before and I. What percentage does it look like? Who's able to get in so far? Okay, we're at sub 50%. Still nothing.
We are working on the configuration of the workspace. Guys, remember that if you're online, you're going to see here, but the person going on site have full access to the workshops, okay? But in the end of the day, you can use it or you can run it in your personal Kiro account with your AWS environment.
Okay, so we just want to. Okay. Okay. All right. Now that we got past that one, everybody signed up for their Kiro accounts already. Okay, good deal. All righty. Let's see. I'll log back into mine if you let me. Will open in your default web browser. That's a lie. How dare you betray me, Kiro? Trying to come up here and say your praises. Oh, for the love of Pete, come on. See if I do this. Oh, well, no, I don't think I. Oh no, I did close it. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I lost. I'm not getting the login prompt. Continue without. Yeah. Go away. Okay. Okay. And now just do share window or tab. Yeah. There we go. Oh yeah.
Is that touchscreen?
Hey, it is touchscreen. Okay.
And then you're solid. You can just minimize that.
Okay. Now I just need to get Kiro. I need to let me log in, which is hilarious. Oh, that's why it's not working. Okay. Now I'm trying to get good. Did anybody see that Kira ID tried to go 1.0 about a week ago? It went poorly. it got rolled back. And unfortunately, what I didn't realize is on this laptop, I have 1.0 on it. So right now I've got Kiro. You can continue to prepare to install in the background, but I'm going to talk because people are waiting. Okay, so installing the IDE, installing the CLI, if you've made it into the workshop, you don't have to worry about that. Authentication, are you going to continue to prepare to install from the internet, or are we going to really install? Login really just kind of depends on whether you're using Google or AWS. Google or AWS, super straightforward. If you're using AWS, you have to hit this very tricky little sign in with IAM Identity Center, and you have to know your start URL and region and stuff. Logs you out every 12 hours. It's annoying as anything, but it gets you there. So kind of like I was talking about, I hear a lot about AI slop and, how bad applications get written. And, I kind of like made it my mission to try to help work backwards through that. Oh, I forgot the lie. The one thing that everybody needs to install. So if you go to Get Starter app, if you're on Ubuntu, which I was hoping everybody's going to be, you need to just run this to install .NET, so that way you've got that to run the demo app. Preparing to install on your computer. What are you doing, Kiro? What are you really thinking about? No, in the remote environment. So yeah, that's specifically for Ubuntu. If you're running on your local machine or on any operating system, the installation instructions under Mac OS and Linux will work as well. Why is this install not running? Zach, I'm getting desperate here. I may have to switch out laptops. Yeah, because this one is not, I wasn't planning on doing that locally. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Uh, Yep.
Am I gonna-
Yep. Let me sanitize this machine. No, that's not going to work. This one runs ARM64, so it doesn't final backup. And this shouldn't work on Linux. Okay. Let's. Yeah, no, I don't. Why is Kira not installing? There's no reason it should not. Yeah, no, there's internet. It is just hanging on the installer.
You want to cancel it?
I tried that. Kill it. Yeah, gotta go super fast. Only got, yeah. Let me see. Can I do differently? Can is there? Let me wipe away the. We'll wipe away the app data folder because that was hanging around. I have a million different machines. It's just different things work on different ones of them. Try the installer one more time. The demo gods hate me. I can't get to the sandbox. That's the problem. I didn't get the sandbox email. I mean, yeah, if we can do that. I'm running out of. The one last thing I can do is I can reboot this into Windows. Hold on. I got it, Zach. Yeah, I may have to. Okay. I will take, yeah, because I don't have Slack on here. So no, well, it dual boots. So I booted into Windows, but it's like I have all the different things that I need on different machines.
And you try to use the
You want to put on the, this is for the administration.
Yeah.
One judge, your
I put
No, that one will go to my Proton mail. That'll
already registered.
Yeah, no. So that's the problem. I already registered. Yeah. Yeah. I just had this working this afternoon.
Set up. You got this. Oh,
Yeah.
through pretty quickly, so I'm gonna say.
Yeah, it's probably just that I needed to unregister. Is there another way I can get that Teams link other than through Slack?
This one?
Yeah, well, I think on this laptop, because this one I have Kiro installed. I have everything installed. I just don't have a link to the presentation. So yeah, I think the problem was that I was beta testing it, so it was Zach, if you can send me the link over Discord, that'll work. Or that will be the thing that we tried to make work.
Have you got anything?
No, I haven't gotten an email. There's some interesting stuff going on with SNS subscriptions that handle the emails. Let's see. It doesn't need to access my camera. Don't let it access. Turn all that off.
Right now. Gonna go ahead and mute your device.
Do what?
We'll just mute your device too.
Oh, thank
And
you.
then share screen.
Okay. And then
Screen.
we're
And then you can just minimize all this.
yay.
And then you have to minimize that too, so it's out of your way. Okay.
We
Kiro's working on that.
yeah, Kira's working on this.
Full brace yourself.
Log off Discord so nobody sends me any fun messages. Okay.
It's launching.
Yeah. Hold on, Zach. What do I have to do to get my screen?
So what?
I don't see my screen up there.
It's loading.
Oh.
So, you know how it took like a minute or two.
Oh, okay.
Takes a minute for it to load. Your terminal up. You can probably minimize this if you're not using the browser.
Yeah. Why is everything seemingly to be running slow today?
How workshop's going.
This is like this is like install view room display.
To this,
Okay.
and then switch back to that.
Yep.
And then click the button.
Okay.
Good to go. Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Did I accidentally close it? It's all Zach's fault. We leave it there and we call it a day. Oh, okay. Oh, I just have to. Okay, I get you now. Okay. Okay. Did I get everything, Zach? Okay. And see, it's just that easy, everybody. Just like that. Wow. Okay. Sorry about the adventures in setup, but thank you for your patience. We're working these things out. So I'm going to go back to the workshop. If I can type. I think the last thing I said before things went sideways was there was one thing that people need to install, which is .NET 10. Is everybody able to get that done? Yeah. Yeah. If you're using the workshop environment, it's a one-liner. No, Windows. And if you're using Windows, it's still a one-liner. It's just a different one-liner. switch to light so it's actually easy for people to read when I'm just got up here. Usage reset. You have 2,000 credits in the new month. Fantastic. Show of hands, who's made it to the .NET step yet? People are still trying to get .NET installed. Hmm? Install .NET. The one, the one dependency that I wasn't able to get installed at the last minute.
Everyone able to install .NET?
When you get the sudo password, it's the same password you use to log in the machine. It's a little bit tricky though to be able to, so you copy it from the web page, and then you have to hit this fun little button right there. No, the one next to it. And it like, you copy and paste into copying into paste into the terminal. Yeah. Right, and it's asking for a password. So if you go back to the, over here, grab that password, go to your, go to the browser tab that's open. Yeah, hit that. Go into the content pane, paste that in there. Hit, hit done, and then it'll be copied inside of the virtual machine. Oh, well, you got to paste it. You actually have to paste it in there. So right click paste is usually the easiest way to make sure. Either that or Command V. I'm trying to remember what it is on a Mac. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the world?
Everyone else has .NET?
Okay. So you have to copy the password from the login page. Copy there. Yep. Then go to the browser tab. Hit this copy and paste looking button up there. and then paste the content into that box. So yeah, click in there, paste there, hit done. And now it's copy and pasted in here. So now you can, yep, just paste it there.
I think what it did was already copy pasted it and
Oh, yeah. If that didn't take it, then try try Command V just to. Yeah.
the password from there goes back to the instance.
Yeah. Try this instead. Right click in the terminal. Yeah. And yeah, paste. Okay, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, the command the copy paste across virtual machines is a little tricky. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Still having oh, okay. You got logged out? It popped you out. Hit that workshop central. Yeah. Grab that password. Yeah, copy. Holy cow. Yeah. And then yeah. I have that laptop. That is the laptop that is up here and was not working. Control B. Sign in. Okay, you're back in. Now to get that password in here, you have to hit that little 2 squares and then paste the password in there. So yeah, just tap like anywhere in the content preview box. Paste that, hit done. And then where you're trying to, oh, you're still trying to log into Kiro. Oh, okay. Okay. Have you already created a Kiro account? Oh, wants to, well, you know what? You've got that password saved in there now. Control V. Not sure why it's asking you for a new keyring. But that should be the root password for the box. And you've never used Kiro before? GitHub, Google, have a login for either one of those? Or do you have AWS? Then, but you have Google or GitHub? Okay, no problem. Okay. Daniel, do you want me to snip a little bit and maybe accelerate? Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. For everybody else, For everyone who's got .NET installed, so scroll just a little bit further down from there. There's a command to copy and paste to clone the repository that the demo app's in. And then once it clones, that should drop you in the directory, and you can just run the application itself. Restoring. And we get the worst budgeting app known to mankind. So this app really doesn't have as much to do with Kiro as it does how we write software with Kiro. So it's a budgeting app. So right now it says I've spent $1,300. I can put in that I did a transaction, money out, buy stuff. And it goes up by, says I've spent $1,400. I'm going to skip the suspense of every to tell you that this number is wrong. But the application looks right? I mean, it shows money, it's got totals, there are unit tests, all of the unit tests pass. But this is not the right, this isn't the right amount. So working app, wrong implementation. So how do we coerce agents into doing the things that we want them to do in a better way? So I think it's really important to know where an agent's knowledge comes from. There's kind of a pyramid to this. I don't know if some of y'all have, probably the people who've used Claude have heard of a Claude MD file. Everyone else has maybe heard of an agent's MD file. That is the absolute first thing that your agent loads into memory. I may have to cheat. I may have to cheat a lot. What can I use? I wonder if Janet has stuff in it. Nope, it's just settings. We'll do it the hard way. So agents.md gets loaded every single time you start a new project, if you have one. Guaranteed, hard stop, it's a thing that happens. The second tier of things that gets loaded are what's called steering files. I don't think Claude Code has a good analogy to this. The closest thing would be GitHub Copilot has instructions. These are more your high-level project goals. What is my architecture? How do I run my project? What are architecture decisions? What's the layout of the project? The nice thing about steering files is they can be sort of loaded like skills where you do some kind of smart loading. So in Kiro, a steering file can have YAML headers that can have one of 3 different values. You can say either always include this steering file. You can manually include a steering file, which means you can just reference it and it'll load it for you. Or you can do this thing with file matching. I use this one all the time in my code because I have mixed code bases. So I don't want my steering files when I'm working on a JavaScript and Rust project. I don't need my JavaScript test in steering files to load when I'm writing Rust code. I only want the things that I need. So the cool thing about doing this file matching is it'll only load when I need it to. So if I copy this and I go into Kiro, and I don't have a Kiro directory in here yet because I skipped over that part. So the first thing we do is make a .kiro directory in our project. You can also have a global .kiro directory. If you don't want to install everything everywhere, or you have global policies that you want to apply to all your projects, it's a great thing to do. But if you want stuff just for your project, this is where you want it. If you've got duplicates between global Kiro file and the local Kiro file, local wins every single time. Because I made a file, not a directory. Okay, and then inside of Kiro, I can make, actually, wait a second. I'm doing this the hard way. I forget that I'm using the IDE. So when you're using Kiro, it's really easy to, oh no, it doesn't have a, you've got this little ghost icon on the side that kind of takes you to the key aspects of Kiro. Specs, which are how you generate a new application, giving it some kind of like basic starting points. Hooks, which are things that run during the life cycle of your agent. So agents work in things in loops. So, there's the, agent begins, agent uses tool, agent finishes using tool. For people who use Claude, that's pretty probably familiar terminology, and you can inject behavior in there. But here is agent and steering files and skills. Can I just, no, you're not gonna do it easy. I'm just gonna make the file. We do it. And, what is this about? This is tests. So I'm going to give it, the name is arbitrary, doesn't matter. It needs to be a markdown file. I like to say that the programming language of AI is markdown and YAML. That's all you end up working in. So I'll make a file called C# testing. I'll give it this thing to match, which says, oh, but this is what how we should name our tests, and this the pattern to develop it in. So if I look down here in my context right now, which is how much memory has been used up, this hasn't been loaded yet because I haven't edited a file, but I can call it on demand. Are you not going to notice it because it's not? It's like, do I have to refresh my? Yeah. Reload window. Then it will understand that it has. Maybe. Come on, you can do it. I have faith. I can summon that steering file directly. So I can say #C# testing, double check my unit tests work. Now, if I hadn't loaded it manually, it would have done it on its own. What I like is the fact that it tells you what it's loading into context, what files that it's touched. And this is just going to run my tests for me. And So that's one kind. A different kind of steering file is something you want always loaded. So this is a budgeting app. So we're dealing with money. So I may have specific rules about how you want to represent money. I work I work in tech finance, so we absolutely have rules about money. And in this case, we have a simple rule that just says, all monetary amounts should be stored in cents. Storing them as decimals are not safe. And it has an inclusion of always. So if I go add that steering file, no, I don't want to preview you. I need you to move out of the way. There we go. And then I did the exact same thing. Okay, and if I reload window again, so this is include always. So I would expect to, as this loads, and my agent sidebar comes up, it says I have 1% steering file usage right now. That thing loaded for me. So this is, like I said, this is good for your absolute project rules, or specific to specific areas of your project that you can filter by files. Another way you can look at this is, I'm going to pop open the terminal, which is where I live. My goodness, what happened there? Okay, something is super unhappy. Okay, we'll do it over here. I'm going to open the Kiro CLI in, wow, that is awful. Well, you're going to get updated while I go do something else. But if I would have been able to load that here, I could have seen the same files in my context. So that is steering files. Agent skills are probably the thing that people have heard a little bit more about. Is also become a little bit kind of an overloaded term. So once upon a time, agent skills were, how do I do X? I want my agent to know how to build cloud formation. I want it to know how to build Lambda functions. I want it to know how to do other stuff. And the trick to how they work is a little bit different than steering files. Steering files are very direct. Skills have descriptions. For this skill, PR review pull requests for code quality, security issues, and testing coverage. So every time your agent has a turn, it looks at skills and says, are any of these relevant to what I'm doing? Notice how I said your agent decides. So skills require two things to work well. They require good description. If you give something that could be very loosely interpreted, you're going to get either one of two things. That skill's always going to get loaded, and it's always going to fill up your context, or it's never going to load. And that can be super frustrating. Skills are also somewhat context sensitive in the fact that they use a system called progressive disclosure for how they're loaded. So my CLI updated over here for me in the background. Please have done that correctly. That would be fantastic. So I'm going to go ahead and add some skills to this project. There's a couple of ways you can do this. You can do this through Kiro IDE. I find it a little bit cumbersome because you have to like browse to GitHub and find the exact URL of the thing that you want. This is a whole lot easier. JavaScript for the win. Going to go steal this. So there's a fine gentleman. His name is Matt Pollock. He has written a set of skills that I think is at 150,000 stars now. No, NPX is not. Seriously, I lose the internet. Oh man. So I'll do it through. It can still work. I'm going to download this. I'm going to explain why these matter and why, with the limited time, that I feel it's important to talk about these. Okay, go Node.js. Yeah, absolutely.
So on the topic of security files, taking skills, I see a taking skills as an example. Check for vulnerability risk, objective risk. So why couldn't we do that?
You can. The trick is, while agents and steering files get loaded first, they also kind of get diluted. They kind of float, they kind of sink to the bottom of memory. It will, in general, remember that, but it won't be its top priority of like, hey, I just heard the user mention security. Oh, let me grab this thing, put it to the very top of my context. Agent messages are very weird. They look like blocks of XML. When you load a skill, it goes to the very top of that list. So it's a thing that's interpreted immediately. As you go along and do more things, if the rule is generic, in general, it gets remembered. If you don't, it's going to want me to restart my terminal. That's fine.
Steering files are pretty good for like general rules. Like, you know, you have a way to communicate where like you don't like it. Like one of the stuff you me is always giving you validation, like saying you're absolutely right. I'm like, I know you're wrong. So I always like to those are what my steering files say. They change the comms, they change the way I communicate with it, or like Daryl said, that like the same things that you're doing over and over. Where skills come into benefit here is they reset its context. And like, hey, this is how you do this thing, right? You're like, I want to review a pull request. Well, here's how you do it. There's not even like a question about it. Here's how you do it, right? But there's even an issue. I don't know if you ran into it yet, Daryl, but even in massive steering files, or if you're including too many steering files all the time to every context window you're doing, they're starting to see hallucinations where it'll run through 10 commands based off rules you've given it, and it kind of starts forgetting stuff. And it's, you know, its model under the hood is basically like, you know, just assume you know the way and like be confident in your answer your solution to let the user keep performing, right? And so when you do too much, there's a limit too. So keeping your things concise, showing a specific example of what it's doing is beneficial not only from a way you might communicate with it or a way that it might invoke certain things, which is skills. In the context of Kiro, skills are hooks.
Yep. Do the thing. No, you've yapped exactly the right amount of time. Proceed with installation. Yes. No, I don't want your extra.
Yeah. So like just as like where would I want to put that? Steering, kind of small.
I mean, it can be steering, it can be all kinds of different things, and it's like it's where where you want to define, like, you have multiple projects with your teams, right?
Yeah.
You know, maybe certain projects align only with that state, right?
Yeah.
And certain things don't align with that. Or, you know, let's say you want all your users to communicate in a certain way, right?
Yeah.
You're like, hey, use this as your root level. So that's something that you first mentioned, right?
Yeah.
It's like root level steering files or skills that, you know, as an individual, you can go install on your machine, right? And you just have it as like, home directory.hero, and there's the same directory that you would see in a project folder. But you can typically go through that access of across projects rather than when you have it in just a single project, you're limited to just that steering file there, plus your root stuff. So,
Yeah.
something like negative numbers, like, hey, pretend you're, a banking teller, or, like banking developer, or fintech developer, and you say, take common knowledge and what you're supposed to do. I mean, that kind of statement alone for itself would be enough, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, I'm in banking. There's no such thing as negative numbers unless I'm an accountant.
Right.
Right.
The positive, negative,
Well, yeah. And I will tell you that if you mention that you are in banking, agents will radiate their knowledge out in different ways. It will suddenly think about PCI compliance. It will suddenly think about all kinds of other things once it realizes the context of what you're trying to do. Yeah. So I'm doing this from the command line because this is what I'm like super comfortable with right now. But like you can see, it shows all of these skills, but they're all at 0%. They're not taking up any of my overall context window right now. And like somebody else mentioned, the reason context windows are important, and this is a proven fact, and I'm going to use this industry terminology for it, is you have 1 million tokens you can put into your context. About 200,000 of them are good. The rest of them are what we call the dumb zone. As you get more information into context, things start to lose relevance and its initial instructions start to go away. So one of the things you want to do is create sessions that are short that can be handed off to each other. That's why I pulled up this set of skills here. So Kiro is really interesting. It has a spec mode. Who's heard about Kiro spec mode before? They do talk a lot about it. And I'm not an AWS employee. I'm not a Kiro employee. But let's try something. I want to create a mood tracking. That's it. I'm not going to tell it any more than that. Let's see what you're going to do. Well, it's looking at money now, which it doesn't need to go look at my money steering file. My little ghost is bouncing back and forth. This sounds like a new feature or a bug. Okay. It's let's call it a new feature. And it's going to start to churn. Yes, I want to start with requirements. And spoiler, it's going to sit here and churn for the next 10 to 15 minutes without asking me any other questions after I just said, I want to build a mood tracking application. It's looking to see if there's spec directories and what have you. I don't like this style of agentic programming. I like to do interactive agentic programming. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to hop to the CLI because, out of there. Gonna make dir mood tracker and go in here. And here's the alternative. So I'm going to do Kiro CLI again before I run out of time. Do not use version 3 of Kiro CLI. It is a lie. It is a really bad trap. I'm going to, didn't I install in here? Context. Oh no, because I made a new directory. So I have to do the thing again. Okay. Give me back my skills. And this is why you install things at the global level, so that way you don't have to worry about them. Go through, install. There are a lot of different ways to get skills. Do not think that you cannot take a Claude Code skill or a GitHub Copilot skill and turn it into something that will work in Kiro. It absolutely does. I do not have time to demo it today, but I have an application that does that, which I will link in the resources of the workshop. Okay, good. Take me back in. Context. Ooh, I've got 4%. That means I've got stuff loaded. Context. Oh. And we've got Matt Pollock skills. The name of the thing I'm looking for is at the bottom. No. Where's your, there, set up Matt Pollock skills. So Matt Pocock has spent a good amount of time trying to develop hyper efficient skills. So over here we have Kiro that is still churning and doing a bunch of other stuff. Here it's uploading some stuff. We're going to run a skill called Grill Me. And with how popular it is, you would have to think this is going to be something that's very complicated. Oh, you moved it. Grilling. Interview me relentlessly about every aspect about this plan until we reach a shared understanding. Watch on each branch of design tree, resolving dependencies. 1, yada. 10 lines. That's it. The difference is now, if I say grill me with docs, I'll say that the docs part is, it's going to make documentation for me. I want to develop a mood tracking application. It's the evening. Opus is tired too. It's going to take time to think. It's going to go look up its skills. So that's the tricky thing. If you're on the command line, you don't get a flashy warning that a skill has loaded. You just happen to see that it read a file. But what it's about to do is ask me 30 or 40 questions about what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. Is this a mobile app? Is this a desktop app? When you say tracking mood, what do you mean by that? It is going to try to pin you to the ground about every single aspect of what it is that you're trying to build. And it will not stop until it's come to a reasonable point where you have kind of a domain language and all of your domain rules in place. While it's thinking, I'll go over here. What Kiro has done is I have a spec, I have requirements. It made up everything. You record a mood entry, you viewed a mood entry. It's made up all the acceptance criteria. It never asked me about what I wanted to do. And like I think I've said earlier in this talk, I like to have interactive sessions. The best times you can work with AI is when you're not just telling it what to do. You're going back and forth. So yeah, what is mood in this application? I can say, yes, numeric score of 1 to 10. And it's going to go on like this, and it's going to quiz me. And then eventually end up creating user stories for me and a product requirements document for me. It's a whole lot more than a spec file. So Kiro specs are really good if you want to dump, if you have a story, a user story that somebody's already generated for you. Maybe it has a whole lot of information, a whole lot about context about what you want done. Kiro specs are a really good thing to use. If you don't know yet and you're trying to figure it out, you're going to want to use something like Grill Me, where you're having a little bit more interaction, a little bit more, what does your 1 to 10 represent? Terrible and best I can feel. And we can't possibly go through all of this because of questions for like 20 minutes. So I installed this, let me jump back to, so we were under the agent skills section. I went down here and inside the project and installed this. So I've only got a few minutes left and I have to try to pick what it is that I feel like is most important that I can talk about in that period of time. One thing I will talk about briefly is hooks. Who's used Git hooks before? Okay. So hooks are things that you can drop in the middle of your code to do things for you. Here's a very wonderful mermaid chart that shows the whole flow of them. But what they do is let you set triggers based on certain conditions for things to happen. This one says, whenever I modify a C# file, go ahead and format it for me. Agents are very sloppy. They write bad comments. They slap code wherever it lands. If you don't deal with these things as they happen, that is how you end up with code slop. So good thing to think about when you want something done repeatedly in a project. There's another that I like that I unabashedly stole from Claude Code, which is called explanatory mode. And I use this all the time, even in Kiro. I say for this session, provide a brief educational insight as you work. So every turn, it tells you something about, hey, I realized this about this code. I hope you learn about it. You know, this is something you should probably know too. You can inject your Git status. You can inject all kinds of other things. I'm going to handle custom agents at the same time by jumping to something that I didn't have time to put into the workshop, but is a thing that exists. This, to some degree, is my baby. Not this project itself, but under plugins, .NET Test Creator. So one of the challenges working agents is they always come back and they ask you for stuff. I want permissions. I want more information. I need something. Tell me how to do the thing. And you hear about these people who say they're running 100 agents at one time, and you're like, how in the world is it? So Kiro has an idea of sub-agents. And part of that also is, part of the problem is, hey, is Kiro going to go read stuff I don't want it to? You know, what permissions do all of these agents have? So what sub-agents let you do is essentially create graphs of actions you want done. So rather than just saying, I'm going to go create unit tests, I have a code researcher. Its job is to can only read files, go find information about this code base, go find out what's tested already, go find out where code gaps are. I have a planner that starts in a new context. Remember the dumb zone. We don't want to get to the dumb zone. If we do this all at once, yes, it will remember everything, but we get creeper closing to that. So the planner does its own work. Then based on, when that's done, based on all of that, it spins out n number of code testing implementers. So you can have 10 agents at all individually writing tests. And I have a code testing validator that goes to check to make sure that those tests are actually high quality. And it has this interesting part where it says has a trigger of needs work. If the validating agent finds problems, we actually loop back to the beginning of the process again. It's fantastic. It can sit and work on its own for 40 minutes. But the backbone of this is skills. These are all skills that are written by the Microsoft.NET team. I've seen a lot of organizations who want to write their own skills. Don't. Please don't. do if you have a need that is your own, but if there are people out there who have great skills, I just took stuff they had, built it together, threw it in loops. And the last bit, because I'm out of time, is just to show you what the definition of your own custom agent looks like. You should not use the default agent. The default agent just loads everything into memory. I can tell it what commands it's able to run, what tools it's able to use, and its starting prompt and the files and skills it can use. The last thing I will throw in, because I have 0 seconds left, so your prompt for your agent is important. It does not care if you tell it if it's an MIT grad or if it is worked at a FANG company or something like that. That does not matter at all to an agent. What matters is if you say you are curious, you are skeptical, you give it attributes, think about it like you're playing an RPG, give it a personality and it will behave that way. Anybody watch Silicon Valley before? I have a Guilfoyle skill. It acts like Guilfoyle, highly skeptical, highly security minded, and plays the role. So, that is the time that I have tonight. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Was very, very, very practical, this workshop. I think with all this and all this like experience that the community have is amazing. Yeah. Remember, guys, that this space is for you. Anyone that want to talk about something, no needs to be expert. Wanting to, I don't know. I build this this app. I build this web page using Kiro. I doing something this. You can share with us. Yeah, it's for everyone. You are an expert or you are a beginner or you want to start with Amazon. This is the space for you. Okay. Before we finish this this workshop, I wanted to know what did you 3 persons that share with us what you learned today. Someone?
I definitely learned about adding skills. I've been using Kiro for a little bit, but I haven't fully dived into having some of those skills and still kind of understanding when is it a steering file, is it global, is it going to be project specific. So I think for me it kind of helped enlighten that for me a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah, that is right. I think we know like how the Kiro works, but every time they're launching new things and we need to be updated. This is for you. This is a gift card for using AWS, $50. Other person want to share with us?
I've never used Kiro, but I've been using GitHub Copilot day in and day out. I was just mentally comparing what the features are, comparative between the Kiro and the GitHub Copilot that I've been using. I think the skills are common, I guess, but I think the steering file is kind of a little different from the custom instructions that we have on GitHub Copilot. So just it's a good thing to understand how Kiro behaves, from that perspective.
Yeah, that is right. This is now everyone wants to participate. Yeah. Chris, that is right. Like you use a Copilot and other tools is okay, but Kiro have something that I really enjoy is that how it's interacted with AWS in the ecosystem. It like the the key change I really like to with using Kiro. Taz, go ahead.
Well, one thing I've learned is that I haven't been using Kiro correctly. I've used Kiro to be like, hey, look at my services and tell me what's running. That's about my experience with Kiro because I'm like, I know I've left something on. And if it's on, can you turn it off? Right. That's all I'm using it for now. But there's that's all I've been using it for. And then my brain is starting to evolve that, man, there's so much more I can do with it. And I'm excited to go home and practice more and learn. And that way I can share it with, my daughter. This is her first time. And so thank you guys all for being part of that experience because we all remember our first IT event. So it was an interesting one, but thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Daniel. I love what the community does.
Yeah, we're trying to create like our web page for the community. We using Kiro, of course, and that is one of the goals is to create it. Next week I'm going to be in DC in the summit. I'm going to talk about LLMs and cybersecurity using Bedrock. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'm going to take some pictures and it's going to be good. I'm going to bring all this information, of course, all the knowledge to the community that you can learn with what is the top right now things on the cybersecurity is my field. Yeah. But I'm going to bring people really that have different skills, not only security, of course, architecture, development, all these things that you have the top things right now in the market. Thank you guys to be here. Really appreciate your time to you can learn here and break things and all this happens, but it's a real scenario. Okay, guys. Thank you for everything. Thank you for your time. Yeah, it's going to be the picture, but you can have using that for
Right,
running, and it's going to be okay.
Okay, thank you.